Hi, this is going to be a somehow short video. It's about one question someone asked recently on how do you choose a van? How do you get a van? And even though we have talked about this throughout the history of my experience, indirectly, I think it's a very interesting question to give it a little bit more attention, specifically on how to buy a van. I thought it was interesting, so let's dig a little bit on this, and I am sure all of you will have more notes to offer in comments.
My name is Adriana, and this is Many Roads, No Rules.
First of all, I can only talk or explain this from my own perspective and my own reality. I had it very clear in my mind that I didn't want to have a monthly payment hanging on over my head as the Damocles spade or sword. I didn't want to have debt. So I could have gone for something newer, something fancier or anything like that, but I decided I want something that is 100% paid off. So only you know your possibilities, only you know how much you can afford, only you know if you want to have a monthly payment or you just want to do something similar to what I did. When I bought the Dodge Grand Caravan, in which I lived for 2.5 years, it was a fantastic experience. I knew I could afford only so much. That one cost me $10,000 or so, and I just paid for it. And because again, I didn't want to have to pay any monthly installments. So it was a 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan, and it had high mileage, but I researched and I knew that a Dodge Grand Caravan can go well over 300,000 miles if you take good care of it. So I was not scared of it had 125,000 miles. So, but it was in very good shape. It was running smooth, so I just bought it. Of course, I mean, the following year, that was 2021 or the end of 2020, the following year, they went up in price considerably, so I was lucky. But when I chose this one, I just wanted more space. I wanted this. I wanted a small living room. And of course, I mean, the logical choice many people choose is to go for a ProMaster because they are big, they're comfortable, you can do a lot of things in there. But again, I wanted to be paid off. I didn't want to carry any installments, so I decided to negotiate down the price on one that was in very good shape. So I did find this one on the marketplace on Facebook. I was looking for either Econoline, a Ford Econoline, or a Chevy 3500. I think I am right with the numbers. You correct me if I'm wrong. But I was looking for something like that. And these Dodge Ram, like the animal, the ram RAM, this Dodge Ram van showed up. It is a 1998, so it is 25 years old, but it is in very good shape. I do have to work still a little bit more to make it super nice, but the beginning was very promising. So how did I buy it? I happened to be in Abilene, Texas for a meetup of Nomads there in Abilene in, what was it, in October of 2023. I don't get along with calendars, sorry. So my friend Tim came with me to a town that was about 1 hour away to check on one, and he didn't like it at all because it was really in bad shape. It had duct tape on the engine. Just that alone tells you that something is wrong. So a couple of days later, my friend Crystal came with me to the town of Lubbock in Texas, 2 hours away, to check on two of them, this one and a Ford Econoline. The Econoline, I didn't like it. It was, and besides, there was a shady story behind it. It was auctioned, and there was a big crack on the windshield, and I felt, ooh, what if they hit somebody? I didn't want it. I didn't like it. I had a gut feeling I didn't like it. It was cheaper, but nah. So my friend Crystal test drove this one because she's used to driving these bigger vans, and she told me it runs smooth. So what I did is I told the seller, I'll call you back. And so the following day I located a good mechanic with lots of excellent reviews in Google. And I went there and I told them, listen, I am buying this vehicle. I need a complete checkup. Can you do that for me? Sure. What about tomorrow, 8 a.m.? Fantastic. So I called the seller and I said, this is the situation. I would like this mechanic to check it up. And would you be able to bring it tomorrow at 8 a.m.? We have an appointment. And they were very nice. The grandmother brought the van in. The mechanic brought it in the shop. And I heard them for a couple of hours banging on metal and taking things apart. They did a full revision of the whole thing, and they came up with the air conditioner is working, but it doesn't have any freon. The transmission is very good, actually. It has a lot of new parts, and this and this and that. So the seller, they said they took the responsibility of replacing the freon, and that was $300 and some. I paid for a change of oil and some little thing more. Oh, I asked them to remove the back seat, but not just yet. I mean, that was the following day. So we negotiated the price. Originally, they were asking for $7,000. They paid for the freon, and they had brought the price lower the day before I visited them. And then they finally accepted $5,000. So it was fantastic. I did save, sort of, kinda, $2,000 from the original sale price. But that is what you have to do. You have to go see the vehicle. You have to see if you like it. I recommend the Facebook Marketplace because it was really very easy. You just put the zip code where you are at, and you give yourself, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours away. just check it out. I wouldn't buy something that I cannot see first and that I cannot take to a mechanic first, because you never know. So that is the way I bought this van. If someone else has advice about how to buy a van, please chime in. Again, to me, in my situation, the most important thing was to have it paid off and to have a mechanic check it upside down to make sure nothing serious was with it. There are some cosmetic issues outside. When I have time, I will start sanding and painting and doing those kind of things, but there is no rush to do that. Mechanically, it works amazing. And I always use, because these are high mileage vehicles, I always use synthetic oil, and I change it more frequently than what the mechanic recommends. Because imagine, for example, I don't know, imagine they say, oh, you have to change the oil, for example, I don't know, in 3,000 miles. What if there is a leak or something that you are not aware of? Because I am not good at that. If I take it for a change of oil at 2,000 miles, we are going to detect any problem that could turn into a big problem later on. So I'd rather do that. I'd rather keep the oil super new in the engine all the time. And of course, every time I take it for a change of oil, I ask, is there anything else we need to do? And if you have a good mechanic, if you find a good mechanic, again, the reviews in Google, to me, they are fundamental, because you can tell if there is a shop that has 3 reviews, very likely it was themselves or some friends who wrote stellar reviews for them. But if it has 500 reviews and all of them are 4 stars or more, you can be sure those are very good. So that is my advice. Only you know your situation, only you know how much you want to pay or you can afford. If you want to have monthly payments afterwards, of course, if you buy a newer vehicle, the chances are you're going to have less things to worry about. Or not, depends. But since I don't have any monthly payments to make, let's suppose, I don't know, let's suppose I had $300 a month that I have to pay for a van. I don't have them. So I can afford, technically, $300 every month on maintenance. And it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. If it is in good shape, you will have to do some fixes at the beginning to make sure everything is fine. But then probably you won't have to do anything but oil changes every now and then. So that is the way I would say I would approach buying a van. And then, of course, nerves of steel, because it is very nerve-wracking. I was sitting inside of a couple of friends' vans that were similar to this, and I decided, yep, this is exactly the space I need. I don't need more than this. It would be nice, but I don't need more than this. This is easy to drive. So yeah, this is perfect. And that you can tell by going and seeing. So check the Facebook Marketplace, go visit vans, sit in there, feel the space, see if it is something you would be able to live with, and that will help you decide. And then go to an RV place and check out the newer ones, the bigger ones. Remember, you will have to drive If they are bigger, I didn't want to drive a very big one, because if I am driving on the mountains, I don't want to go shaking all over because my van is too big and the road is too narrow, or there are those hairpins curves that are very unnerving. But just think of all the possibilities. Go visit places, go to dealerships. Don't buy anything, just visit, sit in there, figure out, imagine yourself inside of the vehicle, and then of course learn about their gas mileage. Is that within your possibilities? Because some cars, some vehicles spend a lot more gas. Are you going to be a constant traveler, or are you going to be like me, that I stay put for longer periods now? When I had the Dodge Grand Caravan, I would go everywhere. Now I am a little bit more stable. But those are the considerations you have to think of. So to anyone that has new ideas to contribute, please put them in comments. It's going to be fantastic. So thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for being here as always. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.